welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Today we just gonna look at a different perspective. I'm waiting for my friend Darlene to come on because I can't wait to get her opinion. She is a therapist, and I just want to know what she has to say. But I saw a few posts, and then I was on Facebook, and I saw one of my friends. We've been friends about 50 years. We went to elementary school together, Jerome Mongo. And what he said, and I was like, wow, that would make sense. That actually Diddy went to a Catholic school, Malachi Catholic school from 83 to 87. And there was a priest there, well, a couple of priests there. And one was convicted of molestation of a young man. And if you know anything about the Catholic Church, whew, excuse me, today my birthday, and I didn't do a thing. But it's okay. Hold on a moment. Let me I'm not already set up. Hold on one second. So send me some birthday wishes. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. So, and as I was thinking, I'm gonna read his post, and I was thinking that if you go through the history of the Catholic Church, a lot, uh, a lot of altar boys were abused, and let's say allegedly that Diddy was one of those. And we just gonna go back through the years of what happened at a high school from 83, 87, because one of them priests was actually convicted in 88. And allegedly he was excommunicated as well for the Catholic Church. And the other priest got married, and he was saying that a celibacy in the church is not fruitful, and he got married to a man. And mm, mm, mm. I'm just thinking, Darlene, is that you? Because I was just thinking about some things. So what I'm gonna do is, so if just think for instance, if Vicky was if 50, I mean 50, Lord have mercy, if Diddy was a victim of molestation during them years, it would be some people don't become abusers, but some do. And in this part of my P Diddy, I'm saying that if he how a victim becomes an abuser. And that's what this is about. Is that you, Darlene? So I can put the link in so you can come up. I guess that ain't you, Darlene. All right, so let's check it out. So first I'm gonna read my friend post before we go. Oh, let me put on my glasses because I can't see worth 2 cents. See them, that's the bifocals that make it look like that. So if I look like this, you can't see the lenses. But anyway, and he said I could use his material, and this is what he said. Oh shit, wrong thing. Right here. This is Jerome Mongo, my friend of 50 years. We went to elementary school. We used to play together. I used to go over their house. He has a brother named Larry. We've been friends that long. Now, he wrote Root Cause Analysis. And root cause analysis aims to uncover the root cause, the underlying issue that triggered the problem, rather than just addressing the visible symptoms or immediate concerns. That's what a root cause analysis is. I originally posted these articles back in October 2024, but I pulled the post down soon after I posted it. I figured I'd keep my thoughts on the situation amongst my friends and family. I changed my position on the matter when I heard this sister address Miss Combs, and also when she said, "We ain't gonna drag the white boys into this. I don't think that's something they be doing." And he's talking about Tisha Tales because she didn't want to break. But see, um, it is important to know what happened at the high school he went to during the time that he was there, and he was an altar boy. He may have been touched. So he goes, say, "Well, sister, it is fact something they be doing, all of them. I highly doubt it. I'm friends with some white boys who I know my entire life. And yeah, you're right. I couldn't imagine them to be doing something like this. However, there are people in every race who be doing something like this in the future before you ridicule our elder for raising her son to the best of her ability, who was abruptly torn away from the love and guidance of his father, I might add." Now that's true. Now there's trauma from being raised without a dad, and we see all our young black men go through that, as well as female without being raised without a father. I can say that because I was a victim to that. I might add, please humble yourself and take the advice from Ice Cube Pops. So he goes on to write, in 2017, Sean Combs changed his name to Brother Love. In 1988, Brother Timothy Brady, 41, was charged with one count each of third-degree sexual abuse and endangering the welfare of a child. Reverend Bernard Branch, 41 years old, was indicted and arrested on two counts of first-degree sexual abuse, two counts of third-degree sexual abuse, and one count of endangering the welfare of a child. And this is all while Diddy was at this school. Brother Tiffany Bradley was acting principal of the Mount St. Michael Academy, a boys' high school in the Bronx, and Reverend Bernard Lynch was the school's chaplain. Both Brother Brady and Reverend Lynch were accused and charged of molesting three teenage boys at the school, which the abuse was said to have ended in July 1987. Only Brother Brady was found guilty and sentenced to prison. Sean Brother Love Combs was a student at Mount St. Michael Academy from 83 to 87. What provoked Sean Combs to adapt the moniker Brother Love? Based upon my perception, and I agree with your, wait a minute, your sentiments that it all starts at home in most cases. However, maybe in this case it all started at Puff's high school. Maybe his experience at the school was impetus for severe cases of trauma dumping, severe cases of dependency, severe cases of supremacy, severe cases, etc., etc., etc. The diagnosis of the root of all these treacherous atrocities, abominations, betrayal of the highest leadership, malignancies, and soul liquidations of these mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual ferociouses, falls nothing short of supremacy. The definition of supremacy is the state or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status. The supremacy of the king. In the Bible, supremacy refers to the ultimate authority, power, or preeminence of God, Jesus Christ, or the Bible itself. And when I read his post, I said, wow, that made me think, put this in another perspective. What if he was touched? And how if the victim becomes an abuser? And then I thought about T.D. Jakes, because the brothers that sued him, and I haven't talked about that yet, and they were young men as well. And one became a pastor, he started doing the same thing, the boys in his church. And he said how, and he went from a victim to an abuser himself. And he talks about that quite clearly. And we're just saying, what if Sean Puffy Combs was touched by one of these men during his high school years? One was sentenced to prison. One went on to marry a man and was excommunicated from the Catholic Church. What if this happened and he was really a victim at first and then he became the abuser? I don't know, humble president, why we ain't never partied. You and look, I know what city you. I'm in Detroit, so that's probably why. So it just made me think about that. So then I started doing the research during Diddy's high school years and what happened. Now, another thing that triggered me, one of the priests was part of the Brothers of the School Incorporated Marxist, Marist Brothers United States Province Mount St. Michael Academy. And this lawsuit was filed against the archdiocese. Oh, make you want to spend a winter? You don't want to spend a winter in the cold. You do not want to do that. I'd rather spend a winter in Miami than to be up here in the cold. So it goes on to say, defendant Archdiocese of New York moves for an order to dismiss the complaint. Oh no, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna start here. The complainant sets forth that when the plaintiff was approximately 15 to 16 years old, between 84 and 85, while a student at Mount Saint, what's the name of the damn school? You done got me nervous. Oh shit, I done lost. Oh, I done lost the whole thing. Oh, Mount Saint Michael Academy. While it's Oh, let me see. What did you just say? Yes, I do. Hold on. Yes, I do. Today is my birthday. Let me put it in there. I rarely seldom use. Let me find this cash app. Oh, here you go. Oh, let me take the caps off because it's not in caps. Gina Bina 518. I got on a black dress. Let me put the dollar sign in the front. Thank you. Okay, it's posting now. Oh, come on. It's posting now. This damn Wi-Fi. Did it go up? There it go. I got on a black dress. Make sure it's the right one. I think it's another one. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. Yep, that's the right one. Um, so you making me nervous. You make me look okay. So wow. So the plaintiff was 15 to 16-year-old young man under the supervision of the Marxist Brothers schools. And in 1984, he participated in youth activities at the school and received educational and religious instructions from Brother Lee, where Brother Lee sexually assaulted, sexually abused, and or had sexual contact with the plaintiff. Okay? Now, Diddy was an altar boy at this time. And if you go through the history of the Catholic Church, a lot of the altar boys were touched. The plaintiff alleges that he sustained emotional and physical injuries caused by the defendants and brought the action under CPLR Code 217, also known as the Child Victims Act, against all defendants with the following three causes of action: negligence, neglected supervision, retention, supervision and or direction, and breach of statutory duty to report abuse under social services law. The Archdiocese argues that the court should dismiss plaintiff's complaint because the documented evidence demonstrates and was wholly independent from the Archdiocese and was not maintained, controlled, or operated by the Archdiocese. So they saying since the school was not maintained or controlled by the Archdiocese that his suit should be dismissed. So I'm skipping some of this stuff because it's long. On a motion to dismiss, it is not for the court to decide the cause of action on the merits. We are required to accord plaintiffs the benefit of all favorable inferences which may be drawn from their pleading without expressing our opinion as to whether they can ultimately establish the truth of their allegations before the tier of fact. Only recently we recognized the right to plaintiffs to seek redress and not have the courthouse doors closed at the very inception of an action where the pleading meets a minimal standard necessary to resist dismissal of the complaint. So the Archdiocese wanted this case dismissed. If we determine that the plaintiffs are entitled to relief on any reasonable view of the facts stated, our inquiry is complete and we must declare the complainant legally sufficient. Let me see. And then they cite a whole bunch of case law. I'm not going to read that. A party may move for judgment dismissing one or more causes of action asserted against them on the ground that defense is founded upon documentary evidence. A dismissal is warranted only if the documentary evidence utterly refutes plaintiff's factual allegations, conclusively establishing a defense as a matter of law. A paper will qualify as documentary evidence only if it satisfies the following criteria: it is unambiguous, it is undisputed authenticity, and its contents are essentially undeniable. A court may not dismiss a complaint based on documentary evidence unless the factual allegations are definitely contradicted by the evidence or a defense in conclusionary establishment. In other words, the documents relied upon most definitely dispose of plaintiff's claim. Darlene, you in here so I can drop the link? A party may move for judgment dismissing one or more causes of action asserted against it on the ground that the pleading fails to state a cause of action. Darlene, you in here so I can drop the link? So let's see what happened. I'm just going to go to what happened after this 15 to 16-year-old filed this complaint against the brother Lee, and he was found guilty. Let me see. I guess she ain't in here. In support of its motion, the defendant submits enter by the following a copy of the summons, case management order number two, a copy of the defendant's letter to plaintiff's counsel dated January 15, 2021, along with proposed stipulation of discontinuance, a copy of publicly available certified property deeds for the location of the alleged abuse, copies of the certificates of incorporation of the Mears brothers, blah, 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 blah. Let me get to where it happened. Mm. This court determines that the deed and certificate. Okay, we ain't gonna do that. I want to know what happened with the boy. So they found that the archdiocese has failed to demonstrate its prima facie entitlement to summary judgment and would deny the motion regardless of the sufficiency of plaintiff's opposition papers. So they denied the archdiocese motion in order that parties shall proceed with discovery. Wow. Darlene, is that you? Oh, okay, Darlene, I'm about to drop the link. Hold on, cause and you don't have to cam up. Let me and put the link in so you can come on. Thank you, Darlene. Thanks. I didn't. Yeah, you stupid in that. Oh, you okay? You cam down. Okay, cool. Okay, there you go. Can you hear me, Darlene? Or you muted yourself? Can you hear me, Darlene? I can't hear you, but you up here. Oh, I gotta add you to stage. Shit, Darlene, my bad.
Okay,
Can you hear me now, Darlene?
I can.
All right. I
Can you
forgot
hear
to hit
me?
add to stage. So okay. So what I'm talking about? Yeah, I can hear
Where's
you.
did you not? Oh, okay, there you go.
So what I'm talking okay. So what I'm talking about is during the time that Diddy was in high school from 83 to 87, and he went to St. Michael Academy in the Bronx, a Catholic school, and he was an altar boy. Three of these priests, one was convicted of molestation, and most time, through the history of the Catholic Church, altar boys were touched. So what I'm saying is that if Diddy was a victim, how some victims becomes an abuser later on in life. And so I went over some evidence and I'm going to continue. So I just wanted to get your opinion as I go through the evidence.
Well, that's
You
a
hear me?
known. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, uh-huh. Yes, I
Well,
can.
the research shows that most victimizers have been victims, and that's what they've been taught, and so that's what they know to do. And it passes
Mhm.
on. And then another thing that goes on is we still have generational curses. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very, very big. So if it's in your bloodline, it can come that way too. And people don't want to believe that. I'm always amazed at people when they cover. I call them Chester, them Uncle Chester the molester. Everybody knows that he's bothering kids. Nobody says anything, but if you gay, they'll talk about you like a dog and ostracize you, but they won't say nothing to Uncle Chester.
Facts.
So it's just amazing how
Right.
and we know that Diddy was exposed to something, whatever it was, if it was in the Catholic Church, if it was his parents' lifestyle, um, or whatever. But we know something happened to create him into this sick person. Because I feel sorry for him because he's sick. And I feel sorry to all the people that got caught up in that. And in Hollywood and stuff, you
And
know
you
what?
yeah,
Ain't
and
no
you know
telling.
what? And the money
I'm sorry. What happened?
and the money and I was just going to say and the money made it worse.
Absolutely.
The money made it worse.
Well, that's power.
So one of the right,
Mm.
right. And the priest was convicted. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in, and you can see at any time. So I already went over the case where this boy was 15 years old and said he was sexually molested by one of these priests. So I'm gonna just go through this and then stop me at any time, okay?
Okay.
So Timothy, brother Timothy Brady is a Marxist brother. In 1988, Brother Bradley was arrested, charged, and sentenced to prison for allegedly sexual abuse of three minor boys at Mount St. Michael Academy in the Bronx, New York, in 1987. Diddy graduated from that school in 1987. Brother Brady was reported acting principal of the parochial preparatory school at the time of the alleged abuse. Brother Bailey allegedly left the school at the end of 86 to 87 and was sent to a retreat in Arizona. See, back then the Catholic Church would just, if you were suspected of child abuse, they would just move you to another location. Brady's status as a brother, whereabouts, and whether he has access to children are unknown. Brother Timothy Brady became a brother in 1964. He was still listed as a brother on the order's website as of June 2010. See, they didn't get punished until people start winning all this money and the laws change.
It's that's that goes back to the same thing I was saying about Uncle Chester. But they've always talked about the Catholic Church and the things that went on. I remember, I can't remember the name. Was it Saint? It wasn't Saint Teresa. It might have been Saint Cecilia. And when I was a kid, I was a teenager, and they were saying that they found babies, dead babies and stuff in the basement where they had bothered the nuns, and I
Mm-hmm.
guess and I was
That was,
like,
yep.
huh? Now, that was trauma to me at 13 years old. For somebody even tell me that,
Right. I can
you
see
know,
that.
I'm like, but you don't know it's trauma until you get older and realize this information has been going around and it affected you at some point. But there are no winners in this thing with Diddy. If he walks away, he still loses. Whatever happens with this case, there are no winners.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
Cassie got a chance to tell her
Because it's
story,
right.
which may free some other people from, because what is that? Lord have mercy. I can't think of the word. That's crazy. I know I need to eat. My blood sugar and drop. Um, when you identify with your victimizer, what is it? What is that
Your
called?
abuser.
Yeah, what is that called? Something stat. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah,
It'll
when you
come.
identify, I forget what it's. I
What
know what you're talking about, but I forget what you
what the
call it.
name of it? It was the same thing that they said about
Yep,
Patty
and a lot of
Hearst.
people, yeah, but they fall in love or they be,
But
yeah,
just
mm-hmm,
imagine being 19 years old
yeah,
and finding yourself in this man's world where you had access to things you never dreamed of, or things you may have dreamed of because she was trying to be a singer. You know what I'm saying? But here you in the middle of it, you 19, and you don't know that you ain't got no business doing this. Maybe she thought this goes along with this lifestyle. And from what I understand, who knows what goes on in those dark rooms. But I can't imagine
mm-hmm,
being that young and being I still call him Puff, being caught up in Puff's world at 19.
right, and that's true.
Now,
Okay, I'm gonna get to this next. Right, and especially, and she comes from a world where she ain't know nothing about nothing.
yeah,
So,
because she said,
and she
but
was
I'm still trying to
naive.
get to this.
She was
I
naive.
Yeah, and very much impressed by everything he had. So when she says that she was in love with him, I just think she was obsessed. I don't think that's love. I think that
Absolutely. Okay, I'm get on to.
I,
Okay.
I
Mhm.
think that she got caught up. I almost said the word homestock. What is the name of that? There's my
She
computer.
did.
Everybody trying to make her out of a monster.
You can,
All
yeah,
I
you can look it up. I'm gonna go ahead and get to this now,
Okay.
because I don't think she was looking for money at all. But let me do this. Outspoken gay Catholic priest Bernard Lynch accused a late '70s sexual abuse of teen student. Now this is the other priest at the teen student at Bronx School. Okay. An outspoken, internationally known gay Catholic priest renowned for his work among New York's AIDS patients in the '80s was accused in a Wednesday lawsuit of sexual assault of a teen student at the Bronx school 4 decades ago, 40 years ago. Diddy was at the school at this time. The anonymous plaintiff, then a 16-year-old at Mount St. Michael Academy, alleged the sexual abuse occurred in 1978 and 79. Well, during that time he wasn't there, but he was still principal at the school when Diddy was there. When Father Bernard Lynch served as the school campus champion, Lynch was tried and acquitted of abusing a different student from the same school in a 1989 Bronx trial. In this case, Lynch performed oral intercourse on plaintiff and digitally penetrated plaintiff after Christian club meetings at Mount St. Michael Academy, the 23-page Manhattan court filing charge. Defendants allowed Father Bernard Lynch unsupervised, unlimited access to young children. The suit was filed one day before Lynch was due to receive the Distinguished Service Award for the Irish Award in recognition of his charitable works with Irish President Michael Higgins. The accuser hopes that children and their parents will not be intoxicated by Father Lynch's big personality and public recognition and instead protect themselves from sexual abuse, said the accuser's attorney. This man is very brave to take this action so others can be spared. The Irish born Lynch was an openly gay priest who left New York following the 1989 allegations. And as I said during that time, when you were accused of that, the Catholic Church just moved the priest somewhere else. They didn't do anything, they just moved him to another location. A sexual abuse that ended with his acquittal in the Bronx trial and his supporters charging the whole thing was a frame up. He was acquitted in one case and charged in another. The plaintiff in the current case is not the accuser in the case from 30 years ago. Norco, whose office brought that case that ended the career of Cardinal Theodore McCormick, alleged the school and church officials turned a blind eye to the predator in their midst.
Okay, Stockholm syndrome.
Defendants, right. Defendants further breached their duties by hiding a pedophile and engaging in a cover up of abuse perpetuated by Father Bernard Lynch, according to the lawsuit. Defendants uh, held out clergy members, including Father Bernard Lynch, as a safe, moral, and trustworthy person. During his time in New York, the high profile priest ministers to those dying from AIDS, fought for gay rights, and appeared on the Phil Donahue show, where he served as Mount St. Michael from 78 to 87. And like I said, Diddy was going to this school at that time. We take all allegations of abuse seriously, but we are not commenting on individual lawsuits. Lynch, now 72. Actually, now he married to a man, and he was excommunicated from the church.
Wow. I
Darlene,
think
you
I
gone?
wonder. No, I'm here. I'm still here.
Yeah.
It's just delayed.
So he's married. He's married to a gay man, and so you see. Now I'm just saying, did he being an altar boy? I believe he was touched. He ain't never said that, but I believe he was allegedly. That's my opinion based on the history of the Catholic Church with the abuse of boys. I'm
And
just saying.
compounded with his mother's and them lifestyle.
Facts. Now let me read this. I forgot it was another part to it. Now, while he was assigned to Mount St. Michael Academy, Brady was the acting principal and he was charged with third-degree sexual contact as well as endangering the welfare of a child. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. Let me see. Now, let me to go back to what this Lynch guy did. This, Darlene, this gonna knock your socks off. In 1992, Lynch moved to England where he started a ministry for closeted gay priests. He was expelled from his order in 2011, and in 2012, Minyard, he announced that he'd been married to a gay man for 14 years. In April 2017, Lynch works independently as a counselor and spiritual director. He has not been licensed. So they got rid of him in 2011, but he had been married to a man for 14 years.
Okay, it ain't no crime
You
that they
can't make
gay.
this up.
But what I'm saying, that them messing with them
No, it's
children,
not.
that's another subject. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it comes up so often that this is going on in the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why people got all these different feelings about being an organized religion. You don't know what you're looking at. That's terrible.
Facts.
You know.
Facts.
I
No, no,
all
I ain't
I
finished. Now we're going to go here.
okay.
Now, he claims that half of all Catholic priests are gay and has himself been married to a husband for 14 years. He believes celibacy is to blame for many of the church's problems and that the Vatican must take responsibility for the pedophilia in its midst. Is it any wonder so many people want to rid of Father Bernard Lynch?
That's too deep for me. So celibacy. Yeah, celibacy don't make you mess with kids though.
Right.
Whatever they
And
do.
if you can't maintain celibacy, then you shouldn't be a priest. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Since that's, the criteria, I always wondered why women, I was like, I could have never been a nun. I just couldn't have, you know. And I don't know. I just think that I'm so
And
frustrated about it. I'm frustrated about all of this. And you know what? And it's heavy because I've been kind of following a little bit of, with the people that are reporting. This is very ugly. It's very heavy. And it's more to come. It's more to come.
it
And
is.
it's
It is.
it ain't gonna be nice.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that pissed me off.
What?
This man, he spent 42 years in the Society of African Missions helping those with AIDS. Now,
Oh
how
my
many
God.
children did he mess with in Africa? I'm just saying.
You know what? The thing is, yeah, so many. And who
And
was
who
gonna
they gonna
listen?
and who they gonna tell?
Right, who was gonna listen to them little kids? You where you at?
And don't speak English.
Okay, your picture is not up. You fading out. Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
back
not
up now.
okay. It's messing up.
Yeah. But it's just when you think about
Okay, yeah, that's this damn stream yard.
StreamYard, might be the internet that does that. Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah, it is because yeah, it is. Yeah,
um, when you think about all of those voiceless children, they don't have a voice. They can't
mm-hmm.
tell anyone. Jesus Christ. So I'm just saying,
Facts.
when all of this is, I don't even, I'm so tired. I don't
Yeah.
think I can do the 8 weeks. I don't think I can do them.
Now listen to this. The tension between Lynch and his superiors ended up involving the FBI. called in by the local cardinal to investigate him, and a trial on trumped up charges in 1989. Now, this is written by a supporter. It was Soul Murder, Lynch recalls, and it will follow me to my grave. The judge dismissed the charges out of hand in what became a cause celebrity for progressively minded Catholics at the time. Later, the subject of best-selling book and several TV documentaries. So, like I said, he was dismissed on one and charged in another.
You can't win
So,
with
like
that.
I said, now he been married. Mm-mm.
So now he married to a man.
And he wrote a book, Sex, Death, and God, in which he goes public for the first time of his 14-year gay marriage with impeccable timing. The book's appearance coincides with the Catholic Church in Britain mobilizing its opposition to legalize gay marriage. But you got so many, and like he said, half the Catholic priests is gay. He said that.
Yeah. Well, that means that they know that,
But then you don't want to promote what's in your you can't make this up.
no. And so if that's the case, then they go there for with the intent to do harm. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's
Right.
been some gay priests that came and didn't bother a kid, but the ones that did, and then you dressed up. Oh my God. Can you imagine what them kids felt like? And then you probably couldn't even go home and tell your mama. Jesus.
Right. Because back then, that was not a conversation that was had at the dinner table.
Thank God my mama wasn't like that.
Because I know when that happened to me, I didn't tell, when that happened to me, I didn't tell anybody till I was 28.
Wow.
I held that all that
All
time.
that time.
Because it wasn't nothing, that wasn't a subject that you just could be open about and tell.
You know what? I don't know what my mother um was very open about saying to us if somebody made us feel strange to let her know. Because she also know that they didn't have to touch you to make you feel odd. They can look at you and make you feel
Mm,
they can. You ain't never had nobody undress you with their eyes and you know you got on all your clothes.
that's true.
Absolutely. I've not only had it done by men, I've had it done by women too. And it feel because I'm a straight woman, it feels very strange. And you know my situation, which I'm not gonna go into it about,
Right. Right.
being
Hmm.
harassed
Yeah,
like that.
please don't. But yeah.
But it's just there is no win. There's no win in this. That's all I got to say. I don't care what happened. There's no win because with Puff, his whole his whole thing is blown. You know, he's never gonna be Puff or Diddy again to nobody. Ain't nobody gonna want to be bothered with that. You know, you see how everybody then jump ship. Ain't nobody around. You know,
Mm-mm.
I'm waiting for
Everybody
Mary J.
running.
I'm waiting for Mary J. Blige to come up because she always was around. Where's she at?
Right. But the only thing that I know that she said is that going to a P Diddy party was a rites of passage. Now
Woo!
that's what she said, and that's the only thing I read that she said. It was a rites of passage.
A rite of passage. Yeah, that says
Hmm.
can say that can say so many things, and ain't none of them cute. Is this thing working?
And sure ain't.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go ahead. I just wanted to bring that out. That what if he? Oh, you know what? I want to show a couple of videos of this, and then I'm gonna end it. And I'm gonna have to do part two because I'm not. I don't like my streams to be no more than an hour because it's hard to keep people an hour. But let me show these two videos and see if you have anything to say. Hold on. Let me find it because I was gonna start on part two, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep it on this subject, and then I got my content to ready for tomorrow. Hold on, this is one of my last.
Hmm.
Hold on,
I wonder if
just
his
a minute,
defense is gonna bring this up.
everybody. Got so much. Dang, I want to come up when I do Tory Lanez. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I want to just play this one. Hold on. Let me find it, y'all. Let me find it. Okay, it ain't that one. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
Diddy attended and graduated from an all-boys Catholic school just outside New York City in the Bronx called Mount St. Michael Academy. Reverend Bernard Lynch, the school's chaplain, and brother Timothy Brady, the acting principal, all faced allegations of molesting 3 boys. Brady was convicted and sentenced to prison. In 2019, Reverend Bernard Lynch, who I mentioned, was accused in another lawsuit of sexually abusing a different student in the 1970s, though the case was dismissed in 2021. But here's the thing. Reverend Lynch worked at the school the entire time he was there. Now, not all victims of abuse could create it. Research shows individuals experiencing child trauma particularly suffer an increased risk of developing maladaptive behaviors, including struggles with power dynamics, control, and boundaries in adulthood. And you can tick every box there. Oh, yeah. For Diddy. Diddy attended and graduated from an all-boys Catholic school.
I think that put it in summary right there. She's all suffer from power. Shoot, I should let that play again. What you think about? I think that video ended this on a perfect note. What you think?
I wonder if the defense is gonna bring it up. That's what I wonder, since it's being talked about.
He never said nothing about it because we just speculating. But I wouldn't doubt as him being an altar boy if that boy wasn't touched. I wouldn't doubt it. And if you look at his high school picture, let me see if I could find it. He looked just like I don't want to say the word, but you know what I'm saying. Let me see
Mm-hmm.
Diddy high school picture. Hold on. Hold on. No, this ain't the one I'm talking about. It was another one they showed. Oh, this is it. Look at that picture.
Oh wow, he looked like a girl. He got earrings on in that
Now,
picture.
what do that say?
But I'm saying, does he have earrings on? I'm looking at this picture from, but it looks like he got on earrings when you put it up.
It did. He does.
Oh wow.
But you got to find
Okay. Uh,
to see it.
well,
Now, maybe that was after he was touched because before he was looking like this. Before and after.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Unfortunately, we
And
ain't in the
look at
courtroom
that.
to
And
hear it.
if you see Aunt born after me,
Well, it's a great possibility that he was molested. It is.
mm-hmm.
It's a great possibility that he could have gotten molested in his own home, according to the information that is out about the way his household was ran.
Facts. I agree.
So I was looking at a
I
picture.
certainly agree with.
I was looking at a picture, and you know what? She's entitled to dress however she wants. But I think that she should have on a business. His mother or whoever she is. She's coming into the courtroom dressed inappropriately, as far as I'm concerned. That's just my opinion. I think she should be dressed in a business suit.
Especially for a woman at her age. Especially a woman at her age.
You know, lady, you looking like a hoochie. Come
Yep.
on now, go find you a navy blue suit and some navy blue pumps and calm that blonde down and walk in there like you is somebody mama.
Facts. I agree.
And I don't know
But
why
she
the
has
attorneys ain't
always
said nothing to her. I'm sorry, this ain't nothing but a zoo.
right.
Because when they get through with him, his life is never going to be the same. Whether if he goes to jail or if he beats his case, because he could beat the case, Agena.
Yeah, because his reputation is ruined. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with him now. He done.
You
So
know.
he might as well just go sit in the corner and just live his life quietly. Ain't nobody doing
But
what Diddy
the
doing,
other
mama.
thing is, and I'm sure, he's okay, but we know they can get whatever they want in jail. He's been using drugs and all of that stuff. That stuff changes you. So just I don't know. I have a lot of opinions, but I can't say them on this format. But one of the things that is disturbing to me is that they act like this is like that was easy for that girl to do that testimony, and they want to make her into a horrible person. Um, I think that was hard, and I think at one point she probably thought it was okay. And then at some point she realized this is really not what I came here for. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we know that he's had to sit in that jail and think about his past life because he's had a heck of a run. He's had a heck of a run.
He have.
You know,
And he could have
climbed that.
still been having a run if he would have stayed in his
Yeah,
place.
well,
He forgot he forgot he's still an N word.
well.
And I'm gonna say this: if he get off, this was a humiliation ritual.
Oh, well, you know,
If he get off,
okay. Because they keep bringing up the fact that witchcraft is connected to all of them. And with all of that you doing, because yeah, it sounds like witchcraft, a demon or something, because you way too far out. You
right? But he
way
got the
too far
deity on
out.
his back, and he got the witchcraft deity tattooed on his back.
Oh,
And I talked about that in another video. But the deity he has on his back out of Haiti, she was a protector of children and women. And you put that on your back, and you an abuser of women and children. So it didn't work
yeah,
out well for you.
you finna get punished. Because I'm
That's
sure
exactly what happened.
I'm sure sitting in that jail cell sober, yeah, he got some other things going through his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and
usually,
he probably got somebody bring him some stuff in there. I'm
oh, I'm
sure of it.
sure, I'm sure. But I'm saying usually when it's big time celebrities, they usually send them to resort type jails. So that's why I know that this has, this is some other stuff.
That's a good point. That's a good. Well, let me see. 6ix9ine was in there because this is just the detention center until he go to prison. If he go to prison, let me just say that because
Well,
he
they
might still walk.
yeah, well, I'm sure he got a few dollars, but all of the fame. And listen, I don't know what can happen for him because there are people that participated in all of this madness. This stuff with him and Cassie, some of it is a bit too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I want to say is him hitting and beating her and having all of that extra stuff. There's something going on with you. And you mentally ill. But
I
I think
agree.
it's demonic. I don't, I want to say mental illness, but it's demonic. So I
I
said it.
totally
There it is.
agree. It is demonic, and
Hmm.
he got a voodoo deity on his back, and I
Well,
talked about that in another video. And what he put it
I
on
guess
there,
I
and
have to
you
go
the
back and watch
opposite. You
them.
sealed your fate on that. Yep, I don't know which one it was. Whenever I see it, I'll let you know. But thank you so much coming up. I'm coming back with. I think I'm gonna do something serious. Maybe I should go back and do my 50 Cent versus everybody, and then I need to do something serious. I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to do 4 videos.
Okay, honey.
Okay, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
come back with 50. I'm gonna go come back with 50 Cent versus everybody. All right, love you. Thank you so much.
and happy birthday.
All
Happy
right, see y'all.
birthday.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you, what you think about this information. Leave a comment, y'all, and hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. All right, be right back. Thank you, Humble.